Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Ernest Ariano III. Channel's name is The Third Ernest. Y'all guys are the third family. If you're not subscribed and you like what you see at the end of this video and you want to become part of the family, you know what to do. Just hit the subscribe button. Just get it over with. But today, once again, we got another Patreon request video. This one comes from the homeboy, Victor Guzman. Now, Victor, I don't remember if this is your first or second request, but based on the fact that the last video was my first time ever listening to 21 Pilots, I'm pretty pumped up about your request today, bro. Victor, as all of y'all can tell, obviously has requested Migraine by 21 Pilots. Again, have never heard this song. Don't know what to expect. I know that they're rap, I know that they're pop, I know that they're rock, so it could be a combination, it could be one of all of those, who knows? And that's what's exciting about bands like this. They can go and do multiple different levels, all within the same album, all within the same song, as we saw on the last video. But Victor, I appreciate your support on Patreon as well as on the channel. Anybody who wants to go be a Patreon and check out what exclusive perks we got going on over there, first link in the description. Patreon is what keeps the channel afloat monetarily. It means I don't have to go and take photography gigs and videography gigs. Y'all guys are supplementing that income on Patreon. But yo, I'm excited for more 21 Pilots. Let's just go ahead and jump on into it and see what we got. Migraine. This song title actually hits really close to home because I suffer from chronic migraines. Now, knowing what I know about 21 Pilots from reading the comments and what everybody's told me, they have a lot of deeper meaning. It's very NF-like in terms of like the metaphors and the symbolism. So I'm pretty sure that migraine is not exactly just about the debilitating disease that I carry inside of my brain, but I'm sure there's more than that going on. So let's just jump on into it and see what we got with this track. 21 Pilots, Migraine. And I don't know if there's an official music video for this because I didn't find one. I assumed it would have been the first thing that popped up. So we just got a lyric video. Fuck it.
Am I the only one I know? Waging my words behind my face and above my throat.
Hey.
Shadows will scream that I'm alone. Oh, oh.
21 Pilots seems like a more fun version of the group Flowbots. Like the group that made Handlebars. I can't ride my bike with no handlebars. No handlebars. No handlebars. And also Raging the War That's Behind My Face and Above My Throat. That's dope. That XY location he just gave you. Behind my face, above my throat. All up in this dome piece right here.
I've got a migraine, and my pain will range from up, down, and sideways. Thank God it's Friday, cause Fridays will always be better than Sundays, cause Sundays are my suicide days. I don't know why.
Sundays are my suicide days? Now correct me if I'm wrong, but like NF, this guy is a known Christian. And I feel like the term suicide days, based off of what everybody's telling me in terms of his metaphors and his symbolism, we're not literally talking about committing suicide on a Sunday. I'm sure there's some type of deeper meaning other than that. And my pain will range from up, down, and sideways. Like one, it's coming from all angles, but also up, down, and sideways because we know that he's Christian. Sign of the cross, up, down, and sideways. That's fire.
Fridays will always be better than Sundays, cause Sundays are my suicide days. I don't know why they always seem so dismal. Thunderstorms, clouds, snow, and a slight drizzle. Whether it's the weather or the letters by my bed, sometimes death seems better than the migraine in my head. Let it be said what...
Sometimes death seems better than the migraine in my head. Just that line alone, I feel like the migraine in his head is depression or anxiety or just some form of mental illness. Because people feel like that whenever they're going through some type of mental illness, that death is definitely the better answer than living with this bullshit. And also people who have migraines feel like that. Like you get depressed from the migraines that you're feeling, and depression turns into migraines, and it's all neurological symptoms. So it's like a never-ending spiral of depression and anxiety, and then the anxiety causing migraines, and the migraines causing anxiety. But if we're talking about the symbolism, he's definitely talking about the fact that shit is going on up here where it makes people want to kill themselves. That's definitely a lyric that rings true for a lot of people.
Let it be said what the headache represents. It's me defending in suspense. It's me suspended in a defenseless test, being tested by a ruthless examiner that's represented best by my depressing thoughts. I do not have writer's block. My retina just hates the clock.
That was dope. And then you can hear him counting in the back, like depress 2, 3. Drop the beat on him. If you know anything about audio engineering, the engineer could have easily removed the count from the drummer, but it just gives you that vibe, that playful 21 Pilots vibe that they have. But yo, the wordplay right here, the way he brings out the slant rhyme, the way he enunciates to bring out that slant rhyme to the forefront. Because said headache represents, none of those words really rhyme, but the way he says it makes everything rhyme, even if it doesn't rhyme. And that's dope, the lyricism and the lyrical complexities. Like the headache is just a test for him, and the test is being judged by the examiner, and the examiner is his depressing thoughts. Like the thoughts of depression and the thoughts of where he is and where he wants to be are testing his willpower. Very NF, very Nate, like a lot coincides. And that's why they develop the following that they do, because they're putting everything out on the line, regardless if it's something that's normally talked about or not. And then the dope way where he says depressing thoughts, like he says depressed, like he's thinking about whether or not he should say it, that's dope.
Presented best by my depressing thoughts. I do not have writer's block, my writer just hates the clock. Will not let me sleep, I get so sleep when I'm dead. And sometimes that seems better than the migraine in my head.
Hey.
Am I the only one I know? Waging my wars behind my face and above my throat. Shadows will scream that I'm alone, but I know we've made it this far, kid.
Fire. That's fire. That hook is dope. But that's a bar. He says, I don't have writer's block. My writer just hates the clock. There's not really such thing as writer's block. It's just me not being inspired to write. But you feel like I have writer's block because you're the one that has the time crunch. Without time, there would be no such thing as writer's block. And then the first line is a common theme with people who have mental anxiety and mental issues and depression. They always feel like they're the only ones because it's their demons telling them that they're the only ones, that they're all alone. He says, am I the only one waging these wars behind my face and above my throat? And the answer is no, you're not the only one. But then he goes on to say that my shadows will scream and make me feel like I'm the only one that's going through this, like I'm alone. And that's the problem when you're dealing with a subject that deals with like mental disorders. It's a touchy subject to talk about, and it's so hard to explain to people who aren't going through it. A lot of people will feel like you're making it up, or a lot of people will make it feel like it's not as bad as you're making it seem. So a lot of people who suffer from mental issues, they just bottle that shit inside and it makes them feel like they're alone. But when everybody's bottling it all inside, no one feels like there's a community, when really there's a big ass community. 1 in 4 people have some type of mental issue, mental disorder. Most people aren't saying anything because the couple of times that they said it, they've been criticized and they've been scrutinized for it, so they just found it easier to not say anything.
I am not as fine as I seem. Pardon me for yelling, I'm telling you, green gardens are not what's growing in my psyche. It's a different me, a difficult to beast, a feasting umber down trees. Freeze frame, please let me paint a mental picture portrait.
It's dope that he's talking about, let me paint you a mental picture portrait, because that's exactly what he's doing when he says that it's not all green gardens and shit up here. We got demons that feed on the burning trees up here. That's a bar. And I feel like mad people can relate to this song because he says, I'm not as fine as I seem to be. And I feel like that's everybody who's suffering from any type of mental issue. You make it seem like you're fine on the outside because you're just so tired of having to explain to everybody how you're feeling on the inside. And when you do explain it, they're not really taking you as seriously as they should. So you just make it seem like you're fine when really inside it's not all green gardens. That's a dope line.
Freeze frame, please let me paint a mental picture portrait. Something you won't forget. It's all about my forehead and how it is a door that holds back contents that make Pandora's box contents look non-violent. Behind my eyelids are islands of violence. My mind shipwrecked, this is the only land my mind could find. I did not know it was such a violent island, full of tidal waves, suicidal crazed lions. They're trying to eat me, blood running down the chin. And I know that I can fight or I can let the lion win. I begin to assemble what weapons I can find, cause sometimes to stay alive you gotta kill your mind. Am I the
Bruh, he said sometimes to stay alive you gotta kill your mind. And we just did Numb by Linkin Park, and that's almost the same exact concept. Like, I've just become so numb. Like, I gotta kill my mind. I'm tired of having to suppress all these thoughts. Sometimes it's just easier to kill the mind and not have to worry about shit. It's crazy to hear different music from different artists, but they're all suffering from the same type of mental anxiety or mental situation. All of their music kind of rings to the same bell, even though it all sounds different in their own little style. But the subject matter of the music is all the same. And it's dope how he says his forehead is like a door that holds back all the shit that he can let out that's not a pretty picture. So that forehead is just shut closed and everything just stays inside the mind so that you don't have to feel the burdens. But just the rhyme scheme when he's talking about the eyelids and the islands of violence is so fire. Eyelids, islands, violence, violent, island, mind ship, wrecked. This is the only land my mind could find. And the delivery makes it sound like he's plucking these syllables out of the words themselves to make them rhyme because it's such like a staccato type of rhyme style. And then the lion metaphor is so fire. And what's dope about that line, it's almost impossible for a human being to kill a lion, but are you gonna cower and just go out like a bitch? Or are you at least gonna try to give yourself a chance to survive? And he says, I'm gonna give myself this chance to survive. I'm not gonna let this fucking depression win. So I assemble all the weapons I can find because I gotta kill the mind in order to stay alive. That's a bar. And you know what's so crazy about this song? The juxtaposition between the musicality of it and the lyricism of it. Like the lyrics are extremely dark, but the music is so upbeat and fun, and the way he delivers the dark ass lyrics is like, you don't even realize the darkness unless you dig deep into what the lyrics and the metaphors mean.
And I will say that we should take a day to break away from all the pain our brain has made. The game is not played alone.
Oh, that scheme. Gotta rewind. I was taken back.
And I will say that we should take a day to break away from all the pain our brain has made. The game is not played alone.
Take a day to break away from all the pain brain has made, game is played. That's some like Eminem type of like rhyme scheme right there. With multiple syllable rhyme scheme and inner line rhyme schemes. And then the fact that he's acknowledging now at the very end of the track, after 2 choruses that say that you make it feel like you're alone with all the demons inside of you. He's saying right here, the game is not played alone. Just know that you're not alone out there in the world going through the things that you're going through. So you should take a day to break away from all the pain your brain has made. And what's dope about that line, it doesn't even sound forced. It just sounds like it happens to rhyme. Like if I said that to somebody who was going through something, I would be like, oh shit, I just rhymed like a motherfucker right there. Hey bro, you know what? You should just take a day to break away from all the pain that your brain has made. Did I just spit right there? It doesn't sound like a sentence that shouldn't be a sentence. That's dope.
And I will say that we should take a day to break away from all the pain our brain has made. The game is not played alone. And I will say that we should take a moment and hold it and keep it frozen and know that life has a hopeful undertone. And I will say that we should take a day to break away from all the pain our brain has made. The game is not played alone. And I will say that we should take a moment and hold it and keep it frozen and know that life has a hopeful undertone. Am I the only one I
Bro.
waging my wars behind my face and above my throne? Shadows will scream that I'm alone, but I know we've made it this far, kid. We made it this far.
That's another good ass point. You've already made it this far. Why not keep going, famo? It might have been a struggle. It might have been a burden, but you done pushed through. You made it this far. And what's dope is, like I was just saying, the fact that the paradox of the sound of the song versus the lyrics of the song, that last little third verse, it's not really a true verse, but that last little third verse is basically brings it all together. It brings the sound of the song to match the lyrics at the very end. Bro, just know that you're not alone. Just take a break away from all the bullshit. And we should take a moment, freeze it and hold it, and just know that life has a hopeful undertone. Yes, there's struggles and burdens that you're going through in your life, whether they be physical, whether they be mental, whether they be financial. Even with all of that, life always has a hopeful undertone because there's always that chance for tomorrow. And tomorrow is a new day. But yo, this song is dope as well. And you know what's dope about it? Is that like it's a completely different sound than the song Lane Boy that we just did. Like Lane Boy has like an aggressive type sound to it. This one is more like an upbeat, like playful type of sound to it. That just goes to show you these two dudes' musicality. I didn't even realize it was only 2 dudes until the first video that I did. I thought it was a full-on band. But yo, lyrically, as a songwriter, the rhyme schemes, the complexity, this song is better than Lane Boy. But it's a completely different vibe. It's apples to oranges. Bitch, that phrase don't make no sense. Why can't fruit be compared? It's just all of these conflicting principles. But really it is apples to oranges in terms of the way the 2 songs sound, and that's dope that you can get 2 completely different sounds from within the same artist, within the same group. But yo, Victor Guzman, my boy, I appreciate you, fam, for this request. But yo, guys, I hope y'all appreciated that reaction. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate your time and getting to the end of the video. It means the world to me. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell. Trust me, I know how hard it is to give your time and give your subscription to somebody on YouTube and give yourself a notification notification on your phone, but I promise you I'll try to make every single notification worth it. I appreciate all the subscribers. I appreciate all the Patreon family once again. Even if you're not in the monetary position to be a Patreon subscriber, you're doing y'all's part as a YouTube subscriber by being interactive with the channel, because that's really how the algorithm works. Consistency from the YouTuber and video interaction from the people watching. It's the name of the game, baby. But yo, like I said, I appreciate all of y'all's time, appreciate all the support. Like I say at the end of all of my videos, go out there and love and care for one another, love and care for each other, and I'll see y'all guys in the next video. Peace.